I went book shopping yesterday. I made a dent, but I used gift cards, so basically everything was free. My birthday was January 24th, so it was pretty recent, and I got some gift cards and like money from family and stuff, which I'm very blessed to have. I decided I wanted to spend that money on books. Also went to a local bookshop in the DMV called Lost City Books in Adams Morgan, which was beautiful. I really enjoyed going in there. They had a bunch of really cute stickers and stuff, which I was really close to buying. I didn't end up getting them, but maybe in the future. It was pretty cool though, because they had a mix of newer books and used books as well, and an array of different things. There were 2 floors. The top floor was nonfiction, the bottom floor was all fiction books. So it was pretty cool to kind of look through and see what was used, what was new, and decide what you want. This year, my boyfriend and I decided that we wanted to get books every month and kind of pick genres for one another to read. And we came up with this little game. Okay, so I say like every month we do this, but it's actually only the second month we've done this, but I think it will continue for a while. So we go to a different bookstore in the DC area and Northern Virginia, and we randomly pick a genre for the other person. So I have a list of genres on my phone, from romance to historical fiction to sci-fi to like a bunch of different stuff. And we use a random number generator because all the genres are associated with a different genre, or all the genres are associated with a different number. And so there are like 17 on that list. So we just pick a random number for each one of us with the generator. And this month, Logan picked out literary fiction. So, love a literary fiction book. So what he got from me from Lost City Books was The Sweet Spot. Look how beautiful this cover is, and it's used. Like, this is in such good shape. So, what a beautiful book. I'll read you the synopsis on the back. 1 divorce, 1 social media disaster, 1 random baby, and 3 unlikely friendships. Welcome to the sweet spot. The baby is not Lauren's. Lauren already has 3 kids, 2 imperious house guests, and a looming deadline that could make or break her career. The baby is not Olivia's. Olivia has big dreams, but she also has a bad case of breakup remorse and a worse case of student debt. And the baby is certainly not Melinda's. Melinda and her newly minted ex were always dead set against becoming parents. That is, until someone had a change of heart. The women may have little in common, but with the needy infant in hand, what can they do but forgive, forget, and find the baby's wayward parents before he starts calling one of them mommy? Smart, funny, and richly absorbing, The Sweet Spot is a celebration of modern family life and all of its wonderful and maddening entanglements. It sounds so cute, and I'm so excited to read it. So that's what we got from Lost City. And then I picked out for Logan historical fiction, which is my favorite genre, so I was super excited. And the book that I found, initially I wanted to try and find All the Light We Cannot See at the bookstore because that's one of my favorite books ever, one of my favorite historical fiction. And I couldn't find it. I do have a copy of it, but because we're doing this whole thing where we're trying to add to each other's library, I had to find the book there. So that's okay. I'll make him read it eventually. But I found Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Foer, and I don't have it with me because it's with him, obviously, but it sounds pretty good. It takes place in the present, but someone trying to learn about their past through letters and their family's history during World War II. So it sounds really interesting. Apparently it has a movie adaptation because as we were checking out, our clerk, who is super nice, was saying, oh yeah, that book is really great and there's a really good adaptation. So maybe after he reads it, we can watch it or something. Now, we did that afterwards. Initially, we went to Barnes and I got this whole thing full of books. I had gift cards to spend. I was so excited. So I'm gonna go through and show you everything that I got. Starting with the first book, it is The Invisible Life of Addie Laro by V.E. Schwab. I am so excited to read this book. I watched Sarah Caroli read it in one of her, I think it was like trying to find a 5-star read, or like this video ends when I find a 5-star read, for January. So it's pretty recent and it just looked incredible. So also beautiful cover too, but the concept is really cool. It's a woman in 18th century France. I want to say it's 1714. Yeah, 1714 France. And she like wants to gain her freedom, but in gaining her freedom, she makes a trade with this, what is it? A dangerous stranger. It makes a terrible mistake. She can have freedom, but no one will ever remember her. So she can kind of do whatever she wants and everything, but no one's going to remember her ever. And I think that she also like lives forever type deal. And so the concept, the synopsis is really short on the back, but it says like, it will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. This book just sounds so good. It has that like historical fiction aspect of starting in like 18th century France, but the concept is really cool, and I just feel like everyone who reads it really likes it. I brought this home and showed my roommate, and she was like, oh my god, someone else is gonna read this book and I have to talk to you about it. So I'm really excited to start this. Okay, next is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I'm really excited to start this book too. One of my coworkers recommended it to me, but also I've seen a lot of people review it and a lot of people love it. Having really deep, meaningful like association for them. So we all have regrets, choices we could have made differently, paths we didn't take, other lives we might have led. But what if you were given a chance to fix your past? Enter the Midnight Library. Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to the Midnight Library, where each book contains an alternate life, a possible world in which she made different choices. She is given what seems like the ultimate opportunity, a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she may have lived, but things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. With infinite choices, what is the best way to live? So I feel like this is a book that will make me cry. Same with this one. I tried to find books when I was at Barnes that I would really enjoy. And I will say, I was watching a reading vlog by Maya Beatriz, and she read The Midnight Library and really liked it, but said the concept of it is based off of a quote about the fig tree from Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar. I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet and author fig. Was a famous poet. And another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing director, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America, and another fig was Constantine and Socrates and Attila and a pack of other lovers with queer names and offbeat professions, and another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion, and beyond and above these figs were many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest, and as I sat there, unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go back, and one by one they plopped to the ground at my feet. I feel like it's a really powerful quote of someone who's very indecisive and like always has been about what they want for their life, and I think that's what this was based off of, or it aligns well. Next, I have One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle. I'm so excited to read this. Apparently it's being made into a movie as well, so I'm glad I can read that. But in January, I read In 5 Years, and I loved this book. I know it gets mixed reviews. I really, really enjoyed it, and I loved her writing, and I really wanted to read another book by her, and I'm just super, super excited to read this. I think it is another one that will make me cry. It's about this mother-daughter duo, and they have this trip coming up to Italy that they're going to go on, but then the mother suddenly passes away, and so the book has to do a lot with grief. Another one that I think is gonna make me cry. But yeah, so she goes to Italy because the trip was like 2 weeks away or something like that. Yeah, 2 weeks in Positano, and it was supposed to be the same route that the mother did as a young woman, and she ends up going on the trip by herself, and as she's in Italy, like learning things about herself and her mother and all these things. But when she's in Positano, her mother is there as a young woman. The daughter gets to meet her mother like as she was when she was like 20 years old. And so it's just learning how to proceed in life without like your mother anymore, but learning about her when she was your age and all. Like, I think it's gonna be fantastic, and I'm really excited to read it. And also, look how beautiful the cover is. I'm a sucker for a beautiful cover, what can I say? Next we have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I'm really excited to read this. I really want to read the whole series. I am trying to enter into the fantasy realm. I've always been a really big standalone literary fiction, historical fiction reader. And as much as I love that, I feel like I'm missing out sometimes when I see on YouTube or Instagram all the book girlies like posting about the series that they're reading and that they love them so much, and being so invested in the characters and the story. And I want to feel that as well. I read Fourth Wing at the end of 2023 and adored it. I haven't started Iron Flame yet, but I know that I at least enjoy that fantasy, so I'm trying to dabble in it a little bit more, and I've heard nothing but great things about this series. I'll read the synopsis. So Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts, but she soon discovers that bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. It just sounds really good. But there are 3 books, I think, in this series. I don't know if it's ended or if there will be more, but at the very least I want to read the series. So I bought the book. Next I have A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I have seen this book like all over the place. It's another one that's sad. Why do I always pick sad books? But I was looking at the table in Barnes that have like the themes or whatever, and they had a buy one get one 50% off table. So these both have the stickers, so these were the buy one get one 50% off. I was standing there, I was looking at this, and I was talking to my boyfriend, and I was saying, like, everyone says this book is amazing, but they never recommend it because it deals with really, really heavy topics. And there was this girl across the table, and she said, that is my favorite book. I think about it every day. It is incredible, but definitely look up the trigger warnings before you read it. I know it's gonna be really heavy. I probably won't read this for a while, but I think it's one that I'm glad that I could pick up and own for now. So I'm really excited about that. I'm kind of sad though. I didn't realize it in the moment, but it's ripped on the cover. It's okay. It happens, I guess. Next, I have The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. Oh my gosh, that's the same person who wrote Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which I haven't read either, but I just recognize the author. I think it's the same author. I'm gonna go with yes, but this one is also a movie as well. It has it on here. This one just sounds super wholesome. I watched a vlog of Haley Pham reading this, and she really loved it. Glad I could find it. A.J. Fickery's life is not at all what he expected it to be. He lives alone, his bookstore is experiencing the worst sales in its history, and now his prized possession, a rare collection of Poe poems, has been stolen. But when a mysterious package appears at the bookstore, its unexpected arrival gives Fickery the chance to make his life over and see everything anew. So, apparently it's really good. I'm really excited to read it. And it's not that long either, like, it's a pretty short book. So, excited for that. The next book that I have here is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. Every book that I've read of hers has either been like 4.5, 5 stars. So good. Seven Husbands, I really enjoy. I can't wait for the movie or TV show. I don't know what adaptation they're doing, but there's some sort of adaptation. I cannot wait for that. Daisy Jones and the Six is obviously incredible. Malibu Rising was really good as well, and I can't wait to read a 4th Taylor Jenkins Reid book. This book is about this woman and this man, Emma and Jesse. They fall in love, they get married, everything's perfect, they love each other so much. And first wedding anniversary, Jesse is on an assignment in the Aleutian Islands, and his helicopter goes missing over the Pacific, and Jesse has suddenly disappeared forever. So after that, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, Emma quits her job, and she's trying to put her life back together. Like, this is insane, what has happened? And she meets this guy named Sam, who's an old friend, and they end up falling in love and getting engaged. And then suddenly, it feels like her second chance of happiness is what it says. And then Jesse is found alive. And after all these years, he's been trying to get back to her. That's crazy. So now Emma's like, I got Jesse, I got Sam. My life is so different now from what it was when I was with Jesse, and now I'm engaged to Sam. What am I supposed to do? It sounds so good. I'm so excited to read this. Those are all of the books that I bought at Barnes / what Logan got me at Lost City. So this is the full stack. I'm so excited I can add to my physical TBR and just have some more books on my shelf that are just beautiful and ones that I think I'm gonna really love. So that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed the haul, and I'll see you next time.